Welcome back to Dan Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie The Northlander, released in the year 2016. The year is 2961, and most humans have been wiped off the face of the earth as nature gradually reclaims the land. Among the few who are still alive is a nomadic tribe known as the Last Ark. Cygnus, a well-known hunter of this tribe, is given the responsibility of providing food and water for the community. One day, Cygnus comes across a young boy named Elias and his father, who are planning to move elsewhere, but he invites them to join his tribe and intends to take them with him. However, before they can leave, Elias's father is killed by a group of heretics who then pursue Elias. Luckily, Cygnus intervenes before they can hurt him and kills the heretics, leaving only one alive, allowing him to go back to his people. Later, Cygnus meets the tribal witch Nova, who tells him they are running out of time and must find a way to survive before the heretics ambush their people. Upon Nova's advice, he visits the scholar, Shappa, who presents him with a map to guide him to their salvation. Although Cygnus is reluctant about going on this mission, thinking he is only capable of hunting, Shappa assures him he is the only one who has the strength to find the key to their survival. After finalizing the details with Shappa, Cygnus meets Elias, who is finding it difficult to deal with the death of his father. After hearing about the mission, Elias gives him his father's bracelet and asks him to give it to the ones who are hiding. As Cygnus begins his journey, he is spotted by rival tribespeople, but as he does not want to fight, he attempts to hide in the canyon until they leave, but ends up being caught and abducted by them. When he wakes up, Cygnus finds himself bound to some poles, but learns they do not plan to kill him as their leader needs him alive. However, a man named Isaac, furious with him for attacking his people, beats him until he is interrupted by a girl who reminds him of their leader's orders. This interference leads to a fight among the group as another man slaps her, but she gets up and kills him. Soon, the leader Torek joins the tribe and asks his people to bring in the girl they had taken earlier. Then, addressing the girl, Torek tells her the terms of their deal have now changed and starts torturing her. After a while, he gives his blade to Cygnus and tells him to kill the girl in exchange for his freedom, but he refuses to do it and throws the blade away. But instead of getting angry with him, Torek tells him he made the right decision because if he had killed her, his people would have had to face the consequences. Torek then leaves while his followers chain him back up. As the tribe travels along with him, Cygnus wonders why Torek has not killed him yet, but the girl, Mari, tells him the leader needs him alive for his own purposes. The group then comes across an area of black sand, and Torek tells Isaac they have arrived and are about to find the answers they've been looking for. Suddenly, he orders his men to kill Mari, but as she and Cygnus fight back, a passageway suddenly opens up and they fall into a cave. Knowing they are safe from Torek for now, Mari and Cygnus share a sigh of relief and start to talk about themselves. It is then revealed that Cygnus does not actually belong to the Last Ark and has been trying to find his true identity. Cygnus wonders how they ended up in the cave, but Mari reveals it's because he pulled both of them out of their deaths. The two then start roaming around the cave and end up in a room filled with strange objects. Mari places her hand into some freezing liquid and starts hearing voices, realizing they belong to the last ones who died in the apocalypse. From this experience, she realizes the answer they have been looking for can only be felt in their hearts, and they must use this knowledge to make the world a better place again. Mari, however, is devastated to learn how life had been for the last ones and suddenly falls unconscious on the ground. Cygnus then also hears the voice telling him that anywhere in the world can be their home. Feeling he has finally found the answer to their survival, Cygnus begins searching for Mari. As they join back up, Mari has realized that being vulnerable is what makes you human, but she gets frustrated knowing she can never feel this way. However, Cygnus calms her down, assuring her she has the same emotions as humans, and they begin to kiss. Meanwhile, back at the last ark, Shappa and Nova reminisce on the times they spent growing up together. Nova then uses her abilities to see the future and shares that Cygnus and the girl can make a good future with each other. However, Nova also reveals she is no longer aware of Cygnus's whereabouts and wonders if they might get into trouble before he can come back. After leaving the hut, Shappa sees Elias outside waiting for Cygnus to return. Shappa tells him times have never been harder for the tribe, as now they can only stay alive if Cygnus comes back with an answer. Back in the cave, Cygnus discovers a globe, which helps him understand that the Earth has land and water everywhere, so they can survive if they move someplace else. With this new information, the pair make their way out of the cave through the mysterious door. Just as they are about to go their separate ways, Cygnus says he will try to distract Torek and his group so at least one of them can make it out alive. Touched by his care for her, Mari interrupts him to confess she had been set up to kill him. She starts crying and says she did not know him when she made a deal with Torek, saying she was with their tribe just to learn their ways of survival and planned to abandon them, but was set up after they discovered her hunting abilities. Hurt and shocked by this revelation, Cygnus has a breakdown and parts ways with Mari. Now alone, Cygnus begins the journey back home, climbing to the top of the ridge. Once there, he finds a message from Torek threatening that he will find him sooner or later. Worried for his safety, he proceeds cautiously until he returns to the last ark, where he finds Shappa already waiting for him. They soon arrive back in the village, where the entire tribe gathers around Cygnus to welcome him back. When a young girl asks him if he is still a hunter, Cygnus reveals that what he saw had changed him into a different person. After assuring her that he won't kill anyone else, he advises the people to prepare as they will have a long journey ahead. Meanwhile, while Torek and Isaac keep looking for him, Isaac loses his patience for Torek's leniency and starts arguing with him for not attacking the village. Torek tries to calm him down, justifying that they are not yet aware of the strength of the village and therefore cannot attack, but Isaac feels he is just trying to protect Cygnus. Torek, however, assures him it's not just about Cygnus, but about their entire future because he wants this to end. Torek finally relents that Isaac only wants power before giving him permission to go kill the villagers if he wants. Back in the last ark, Cygnus meets Nova to give her a document he found in the cave left by the humans before the apocalypse. He also tells her that Torek's tribe does not want to attack the last ark, but just him, and he feels there must be something they want from him. As Cygnus leaves this meeting, he is surprised to see that Mari has come to see him. The two then confess their feelings to each other. Cygnus then brings her to meet Nova, who instantly accepts her into the tribe, revealing she already saw her in her visions. However, this joy quickly fizzles out as an old fisherman sees the heretics heading their way and warns them of an impending attack. Cygnus prepares to defend his people, but before leaving, he tells Mari that if he does not come back, she must lead his people to go to safety. Mari reluctantly accepts and stays behind as Nova goes after Cygnus. Outside the village, Cygnus clashes with the intruders, killing many of them. However, as he is greatly outnumbered, he is soon surrounded, but Torek once again intervenes. He accepts that Cygnus has always been righteous, but threatens to kill Mari if he continues to refuse to comply. The heretics then take aim for Mari, but Nova gets in the way and is struck. As Mari holds the dying witch, Nova tells her she must take her place and transfers her powers to Mari before succumbing to her injuries. Torek then confesses he knows Cygnus is searching for his true identity and reveals he is actually his brother and their mother had abandoned him. Enraged by the truth, Cygnus attacks while Torek taunts him, saying they are the same and urges him to kill him. Soon, Isaac starts arguing with him about the powers and leaves with the rest of their tribe. Now finding himself alone with Cygnus, Torek reminds him he was the one who kept him alive during his journey. But Cygnus kills him anyway to save the last ark from future attacks. Elias then shows up to accompany him back to the village where he rejoins Mari. On his way back, Cygnus speaks to Nova in his thoughts, telling her they are not out of time, they just have to keep their heads high until the last ark finds its way, while he hopes to finally accept his surroundings and be at peace. Back at the village, Cygnus meets Shappa, who asks him to figure out what the wind is trying to tell them. When Cygnus says it's hard to understand, Shappa reveals it's a signal that something's about to change. Shappa then asks Cygnus if he will join them on their journey, and he hesitantly agrees, telling him they have to go north. That was all from the video. Subscribe for more content like this and leave a like to help the channel out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Take care.